What's good, everybody? DJ TMac here for another great hip-hop conversation. Today we have a producer in the building. I'm in his building, actually. We're currently in the Lab Studios where he works and does a whole lot, and we're going to talk about that today. We have Jahndi in the building, Jahndi Poppy.
What's up, B-Dog?
What's good, man? How are you?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Very good. I'm very happy to speak with you, man. Been listening to your music a lot lately. Especially since moving to Colorado, man. It's been giving me that Colorado vibe.
Hey, absolutely, brother. Appreciate you for being here today and, giving me the shot to just give me a platform and everything.
So. Absolutely, man. You deserve it. You're making a lot of great music, collaborating with a lot of great artists who I definitely want to talk to in the future. So everybody else that's working with him, stay on the lookout, you know?
Yes, sir.
But I want to get into, your sort of musical journey.
Okay.
Kind of what brought you to this point. So let's talk about maybe your first sort of music experience that you maybe remember, early memories with music, going to shows, playing the trumpet at an early age. Like break it down for me. I want to get into it.
Yeah, so, all through middle school, I really started off doing honor choir. So, that was like my first musical experience, doing like singing and, stuff for the choir at school, which led to, just in high school, I became more interested in DJing. I started off DJing, I say my junior and senior year, we were doing mansion parties. And, that's kind of where it all started. My buddy and I, DJ, were the only ones really DJing. His name's Dante, but, he went by DJ. And, we started doing that senior year. I just basically, we started buying our Pioneers and, started mixing music, which led to like doing, mansion parties. And we came up on an opportunity where we were able to basically DJ for like phone parties at bars down in Colorado Springs.
Okay.
And, that got popping. And, after that, it just kind of, led to just me wanting to get into producing, DJing, mixing music. You're like, dang, this sounds cool. Like, this is different from the original. Like, now you're like, dang, I want to make original music because you're just like, this is somebody else's, but, you want it to be your own. So that's kind of just how I got started into everything. So.
Dope, man. Yeah, being a DJ, you look at music differently after that for sure.
Yeah.
When you start blending stuff and mixing sounds together, it's like a different way of seeing and hearing the music. So that's pretty interesting. Are you from Denver originally or Colorado in general? Talk about that.
Yeah, so I was born in Denver, Colorado, just born here in the city. But my family was military. So, after we kind of left here, we actually lived in Europe for 6 years. I kind of been everywhere. I was born here, but just kind of been everywhere just because of the military background of just my family. So, yeah.
Being in Europe for 6 years, that probably has somewhat of an influence on your life and style and how you move in general, probably, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you go to a different country, like, especially at a young age, you just, it's different. Like, you're not Americanized. And then, I was at a young age, so really I was 6 years old, there till about 11, 12. And, those are all the beginning stages. You're almost growing up as a European. We lived on base, with American, just kids and stuff. But like once you go off base, which we were off base a lot, like you're in a different country, And my family, we would just every weekend just basically hit the Autobahn and go to a different country. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And just experience different countries. So I mean, it was just really seeing all that at a young age. It definitely started like basically just a whole like image of how I'm seeing life, just I'm in different country, like this is how I'm growing up, and yeah, it's different. So
interesting. I want to talk about your style a little bit, your musical style.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the style, a different kind of style too.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the music for a little bit. It's very unique. It's I would say it has classic elements to it, like classic hip hop elements, some boom bap elements, but with like a modern sound, modern twist.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, just the inspiration behind the music is, I mean, we still listen to American music, out there. So, growing up, just listening to a lot of like Jay-Z, early, just music, with my family. My parents were young out there, so they were like, what, 25, 26, they were hip on everything, like the Missy Elliott's were dropping and just everybody, 50 Cent.
And hip hop is a big thing in Europe. Hip hop culture is like huge
Yeah.
in there. It's different than how we sort of experience it here, even, or, you know.
Well, what kind of wild is, out there, really all the American music I heard was on bass, but then you go to like outside of bass, you're gonna hear more like that, like house, different, like that, is European style music, like rave style music, more like just up tempo and just different. But you take those elements of like what you're hearing growing up and just applying it, just to how you hear it now in your head, like replaying it, or just you're picking and choosing from like different cultures, first off, and just different styles of music, and just having kind of a little bit best of both worlds, like experiencing American culture, like by being military, still on base, and then just going outside of base. Now you're like not you're an American, but you're in their atmosphere and their culture. So yeah, it's cool.
That is dope, man. Let's talk a little bit more about some music influences. You said like Jay-Z. Talk about maybe music influences that influence your style and how you make music, kind of the sound that you try to
like create,
project and create. Exactly.
Yeah. So I think whenever I started music, I was at a whole different headspace from like where I was, coming up with. I grew up with like my pops would play like Tupac, the Biggies, like all the classics. 50 Cent was coming out, people that I started getting, once I heard hip hop more, like, and they're in my like era,
They're coming up.
Yeah, I'm coming up listening. I'm hearing 50 Cent, I'm hearing Missy Elliott, all the, Pharrells and like Snoop Dogg, just everything I was hearing, and it's different. Like once you're on military base, you're also not only in a different country, but once you go on base, you're also dealing with people from different states. Like who you got Southern music, you got West Side music.
It's
like
a whole mix just on base.
You're literally you're literally just like growing up with all this different music. You're like the homies' parents might be playing something totally different because they're from like Georgia or whatever, and you're like, yo, like what is this? Like my dad's got me growing up on Tupac and everybody on the West Coast, like the Ice Cubes and all that, and then you're like getting introduced to like East Coast music and down south music, and you're like yo, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So that's a cool like way I've been able to benefit just any inspiration is, I mean, you're meeting so many different people just through that lifestyle, like, so you're gonna just run into different things other than that one kid who grew up in just his city. You're only gonna be like almost trapped, and just like what what I'm saying, instead of experiencing and learning from other people. So it's really cool and a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. I went away to school. It's funny, in the state of New York. I'm originally from New York, but I went to school upstate New York. Yeah. But getting there, it was a similar experience. People from all over the country, even going there, melting pot, and just being exposed to different things. So that's sort of what that reminded me of, the first time really seeing and talking to like different kinds of people and being introduced to different stuff. So yeah, that definitely is like a eye-opening thing.
Right.
Your sound is very clean. It's super clean.
Appreciate you.
How long have you been making music at this point?
So yeah, senior year, I graduated in 2013. I just started producing my senior year, you know what I'm saying? I graduated at 17. I'm 27 now. So, I just was starting to make my beats right after I graduated, about to turn 18. And, it's been a long journey. Like, I mean, I've had to start, certain places. We all suck when we start off. I had to just really work step by step, just by completing a beat, start like, you don't even know what you're doing with the program. You have to learn like how to just go through this program. So like, just to be like, how do I pull up how to create a sound. Like, what do I do to just get a sound going? Like, just stuff like that. And it led to just finishing that first beat. It took forever to just finish a first beat, man. And just from there, you're like, ooh, like I just, I completed something. And then you're just like, let me do the next one and the next one. And, yeah, like and then basically just, just producing a lot. You just want to just create more and getting into vocals and stuff like that. And it's been a journey just getting it clean, man. It's been a lot of trial and error, like offering a lot of free sessions, or you're just like, bro, like, will you just come record so I can figure this out? Like, I can't be there. I mean, you can, but, like, can you just record? Like, we'll just pull up something.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, just a lot of trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still learning, like, it's clean now, but I'm not even like, not even at a prime, like, just still learning day by day. I'm only 27, about 10 years, basically doing music. And yeah, that's usually people just start getting it at 10 years. Like 10 years is like that, almost you're at the start of the journey. So.
Oh man, we're about halfway through there. So in another 5, the show's gonna be off the charts. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
How long would you say you were making music? Obviously, you said you were getting people to come through to record, to mess around. How long before you started maybe working with artists? How long were you in the bedroom? You usually is how it all starts out. How long was that process before you started, asking artists to come through or start sending beats out?
Yeah, senior year, moved out at 18, basically got an apartment with my homie DJ. We were both like into music. We're like, all right, like, and we're like best friends, so we still are. And just, we got into an apartment, just making music, just starting off like that, like still learning. Like, this is like, months after I just got the program, you know what I'm saying? You just start like just creating whatever you can and just trying to just make anything, you know what I'm saying, which led to like just learning how to record next. You're like, okay, I made a beat, now what do I do to get vocals on here? Then that's like, you're not even a master at the beats, you're just like, dang, I just completed it. Like, how do I get vocals on here now? Which,
There's a whole nother element to it, right?
A whole other element, man. Like, you just have to just literally trial and error and do your research. Like, watch YouTube videos. That was a huge thing. Just being young, you only have time, and just learning off YouTube, man. That's just how it started. And, once you try and tap into other people who do know what they're doing, it's at that stage where I'm like, people are making music around me. And it's like, yo, you're trying to ask questions, but it's rough out here sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's trying to give the sauce or help you grow, so you gotta do it yourself, teach yourself, trial and error a lot, and just figure it out.
DIY.
Yeah,
right?
Do it yourself, exactly.
Let's talk a little bit more about your style. You seem to have a very, like, sample-heavy style.
Yeah.
Or at least... how much is sampling now versus like what you're playing and doing, on your own? So
what I like to do, and I think it just kind of separates, us from the rest, is, I do the sample flip. I really love to just cut different parts from records and get a starting point. I try and like not do too much because I like to build on top of it. I'm not a crazy composer or instrumentalist yet. You know what I'm saying? So I don't just grab the piano and start shredding. But what I can do is basically, get a solid bass, just hearing the music, like flipping, cutting, chopping, like reversing, just making a good solid melody and then building off of that. So I do like to add horns through separate, VSTs or stuff like that, like, or maybe I have Omnisphere, just playing like a couple notes to accent the sample, or you're gonna add stuff. And I love vocal chops like in the back that aren't even from a record. I think what I want to get more into is just creating the vocal chop, recording it, boom, like, getting people in here just to lay the background vocal of like just of the beat. It's not even a part of the song, it's just for the beat. And but I like to add that stuff in, a lot of percussion, and then obviously
the bounce
drums
is crazy.
I appreciate you.
The bounce is crazy.
And that's okay. And that's where kind of my style comes in, because a lot of my people, you know, buddies say like you got that like New York East Coast style because of the samples, but with your drums you got that down south like more bounce, you know, just bounce. And that all plays with what I, you know, being in that melting pot of people, of just all these sounds. I mean, you know so much music. You're just like trying to blend it all together. Like, what is everything I like that I could just create as my own, like that I like to hear? Because at the end of the day, man, like ever since I started music, it's just been like, oh, you almost being selfish. Like you have to be. I just be selfish. Like I just listen to my own stuff because you're trying to constantly work on your craft and you know and just create a style. That's been my most important like objective of all of this. I started off making just like little trap beats or whatever, like just making whatever I could with just a drum pattern I could think of right then and there. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Just creating the style is just what's been important. Is how am I gonna sound different from everybody? Because, you know, especially when I got used to just making beats more, like, you know, like the Cardi, you know, Playboy Cardis, and all those dudes are dropping. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, everybody's doing this. Like, how am I gonna, you know, like nobody's really. And this is like before, you know, as Griselda's kind of making a stand, you know, coming up, and I'm just like, yo, who are these dudes? Like, this is kind of, you know, just cool, and like just getting inspiration back from like what I used to listen to, just the soul samples, like the Nas, the Ye's, like listening to my favorite Jay-Z tracks. They're, you know, Just Blaze, making just crazy flips. You're just like, nah, this is crazy, and like nobody's really coming back to this, you know, sound. But I'm not trying to also do just a sample flip. You know, like, you know, I'm not trying to be like Griselda. Like, you know, they could just flip something crazy,
just loop it up,
and that's their sound. Like nobody was doing that. But now I'm like, okay, but sampling is forever. Like it's gonna always be a thing.
It's a staple in the culture.
In culture, and our favorite people are doing it daily, and it's just like, you know, I'm just gonna learn. I do want to do more original compositions. Like there's like levels to it though. That's, you know, and that's just what it's been about. It's just doing levels, like learning from here and just working your way up, because yeah, it's different, man. But yeah, just creating that style is important.
Talking about creating your style and sound, something unique to a lot of the tracks is the snare.
Oh,
seems like the high frequencies are like taken out of a lot of the snares almost,
like
right?
Or
maybe I have it backwards, but it's something very distinct about the snare. It's not a very like clean. It's clean, but
like
there's something different about it.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Like it's like almost tucked under, like essentially, like, you know, I do like it to feel like it's a part of the sound. Like maybe
it's almost more of like a knock a lot of the times
than
an actual snare
like
drummer
snare.
hit.
Exactly. I think, see, and that's the thing. Like, you know, a lot of, you know, people at a higher level can just bring in a drummer and just, you know, bring that original, like that liveness to it. And I still want to just add just a different, like, just bounce to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And the snare is always hard. You know, it's always hard to find. Like, but once you find that sound and how you want it, I mean, it becomes easier. Like, you got your go-tos. Every producer just eventually gets their sounds that they go to, because they know it's like, they know how to do it. And it all comes down to the mixing too. You know, that snare might have not, like sometimes I don't even know what snare I might have used. Like, it just probably didn't sound like that. But once I heard it in the mix, like, you know, you just kind of switch it up, or like you add that, you know, you cut off that high end a little bit so it sounded like, yeah, knock, but under, you know, just the beat or whatever. Yeah,
something definitely unique that is if I hear that, if I hear a song produced by you in a random playlist, I'll know it's produced by you.
Hey, and that's what it's. Oh yeah, that's what it's about. Like, I want, you know, I just want people to know, like, that's a Jahndi beat. You know what I'm saying? If I take my tag, you know, my tag, people love my tag. You know, the Jahndi Poppy. You know, that's when you know it's that beat. You know, but I want to get to a point where, like, you'll know when it's a Pharrell beat. You know, he does like the 3 kicks right before it all goes, like boom, boom, boom. You know, and then, you know, like, you don't have no tag like Pharrell. You know, like, you just
Pharrell,
know.
Dr. Dre, like a few artists, Primo. you know, there's some that you definitely just are able to pick out that way.
Like Alchemist.
Oh yeah.
Like you just kind of know when it's that grungy sound. You just know when it's him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just all those producers. I just want to, you know, just create a sound, man, and just know, like, yeah, like that's his beat. You know, like DJ Mustard did it for a while. Like he wouldn't even put like his tag on the beat, but you're like, nah, like he made this. You know what I'm saying?
Or somebody was trying to rip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But
that's a good thing once you get to that point, right?
Exactly. Somebody wants.
Not too much of a bad thing.
Right.
Let's talk about digging and sort of finding samples and sounds. How do you do that nowadays? Now, you know, you don't necessarily have to go to the record store.
Exactly.
You can show right here in the studio, go through records, and you know, and so quickly compared to going through and actually getting the record. So how do you dig and find sounds?
Yeah, so just for a minute, I mean, for really the whole time, I've just digi dig, you know, like go through just the webs, you know, through the internet and just find songs, listen to a lot of music. You know, one thing I do a lot is just listen to music through my phone. So like random things pull up, and that's when I kind of save. You know, if something crazy, I'm like, whoa, like I haven't even like this isn't. You know, what is this? I listen to a lot of jazz playlists, and then a lot of like old '70s like just playlists through Apple, and then it like you just start going through these like just some songs you ain't never heard or, you know, artists, and I think that's important doing it that way because I just save it, then pull it up on YouTube. You can chop it from there. One thing that I got a cool website from, I'm gonna put everyone on just TikTok put on this Sample.io website. So basically, like it'll filter through so many songs, like millions of songs that you could just come up on. You know what I'm saying? And just ones you ain't never heard, it just cycles. Like you create your own algorithm of music you want to hear.
It like brings you stuff.
Just literally like you checklist jazz 70s type shit, and you're gonna come up on songs, and you just come up on cool songs. You know, like sometimes you flip a record and it just doesn't. Like you're like, nah, this is about to be fire, and it just doesn't work out. You know, we've had basically just samples we thought were about to be fire, but like I just can't get the tempo, you know, like it's not cutting right and just shit like that. So like some work more than others, but yeah, bro, just like that. But just this last Christmas, shout out Mama Duke, she got me this vinyl record spinner, and to basically throw into the computer. The Audio Technica, you know, just scratch the vinyl into Logic. So I just been dabbling into that, just going crate digging more. You know what I'm saying?
Classic way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, classic. Like I have vinyl records anyways. You know, I listen to it daily. Like I have a vinyl player in my kitchen, so like I always just listen through there. But you know, just scratching it to like the music program was hard because I didn't own nothing like that. You know, I was investing more into plugins and, you know, audio gear for the house, like, which is $200-300 here, $400, you know, like just for a knob, like just for something to do the slightest thing, you're paying like $250 and stuff like that. So I wasn't really pressed about it because I have the internet and you can, you know, it's the same thing. But just wanting to get back into that, like just the OG way, and just go, you know, collect hella vinyl, hundreds and thousands, go. Just, you know, explore and just cut things I've never, you know, even heard before, just like I do now. But like to hold a piece like, yo, might be my favorite album now, you know, because you never knew what it was until you started playing it through. So
it's a different experience, man. I own a lot of vinyl. I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's with the vinyls I did have, like it's crazy. You know, you're just like, damn, like you go instantly to YouTube. You're like, fuck, like I need to flip this because I've never even heard this before. You're like, just sheesh.
Favorite album that you have on vinyl?
So I just got this limited edition Prince album actually, and I think it's really fire. Just the way you know, it's not just all black. Like I put it on my story the other day, but it's yeah, just a limited edition Prince album, like of the album cover. So I would say like how it looks and everything, and obviously that's just Purple Rain, you know, classic. You know, it's probably my biggest gem. But one of my favorite ones is probably, well, I'm not gonna lie, like, and it's it's new, but like Good Kid, Mad City, I got that on vinyl, and that was actually one of the, like, when I got back into just copping more, like just one of those first ones like I got, because it was during that time, I was still like 16, 17, just still in high school, so I wasn't like fucking with vinyls. This is before I even got into like DJing, so I wasn't like really tapped in all that, just trying to do all that. But just got Good Kid, Mad City. I still run it, and just the cover, like just opening it up and reading just through all the production and like all the credits, and just, it's just crazy. Like, that's one of my favorite ones for sure.
Oh man, yeah, I love that album. That's really a movie, cinematic, like music experience.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, literally crazy. It just sounds more warm. You know what I'm saying? It sounds different on vinyl, like every single time.
All right, Jahndi, let's talk about how you started connecting with some artists. You have a lot of albums out on streaming platforms that everybody should go listen to. We have some links below. All the links below to connect with Jahndi, get connected with his music, some of the artists he works with. But he works with hella artists. Like, I don't even know how else to describe it. And they're all very lyrical, storytellers, really dope MCs. So how did you start connecting with artists?
So I really got into just learning how to engineer, you know what I'm saying? Just offering free sessions. Like, sometimes it'd be my close homies, like, we make nothing, you know what I'm saying? Just like, oh my God, like, what's going on? Just learning. And but as they helped me, just give me the reps, you know what I'm saying? Just laying whatever down, which led me, to just eventually becoming like efficient. Like, all right, I can actually record and get a song sounding solid, which, posting on social media led me, just to certain people. And what do you call it? After just kind of getting started, I would rap on my own. So first off, like, I would make my own beats, and, cause you're at the beginning stages, like, you suck. Like, people aren't really gonna rock with you, when your shit's like, when it's rough. Like, you're at your beginning stages, so like, not everybody's gonna rock with you. So I had to start off on my own. I just would, rap to my own beats. This is when I started getting into like my style, making of the production side, like, of just like, dang, okay, this is kind of hard. This is like that old school sound, but like, yeah, the drums are just way different. And as I started dropping beats, just more, now people are like, all right, like, he's making some cool stuff. One of the first artists I tapped in with was my homie Savvy. He was like kind of rocking with the beats I was making at that time. This is before actually my like kind of boom bap style. Okay. I was making more like just some cool like trap style, like just different. Still sounded different, but like was on that wave of like, just what was out, like kind of in that element, and just like, ooh, like, this is hard. And yeah, he's super hard. Just started working with him a lot, starting off, you know what I'm saying? Still to this day, it's my brother, and just started, making music with him, you know what I'm saying? And then the next person that I met was my brother JMAT. That's my boy, the lonely boy. He's in here with us right now. That's my brother, man. Met my boy JMAT. He just came back from college, broken collarbone in the sling. Came to my house off Tijuana, and bro, like, I was making those style beats, like, these are those old school, style beats, and I just heard one of his tracks, Golden Showers, he had on SoundCloud. I'm like, bro, like, this man is fucking stupid, just, I have to tap in, because, like, that beat he, like, had rapped on was just, like, that kind of, like, same pocket of where I was going, and I'm like, yo, like, yeah, we gotta link up. So I hit him on the gram and just, just locked in, was like, pull up on me, he pulled up on me, sling. And, man, we just started recording. Just that kind of was the start of it. It took us a minute, too, to just get our first song. I was kind of coming out, still working with my boy Savvy, and that's his boy, too. They've known each other since the 3rd grade. And, like, I was coming out of this style with Savvy that I'm trying to create with him. And then now, like, leading into just my, like, kind of my core style, like, how I'm really feeling. I love lyrical stuff. The artists I was growing up with, like, I wanted to really create a story through not only the beats, but through the lyrics. And I felt like my boy JMAT, could do that. just from what I heard so far. So yeah, man, just him and I been locked in ever since. Just created our own sound together. Really, you know, a lot of my sound now has came off of just building with him because we knew what we wanted to hear. You know, we were here. You know, his favorite artist is Kendrick. You know, and here I was saying like I love Good Kid, Mad City. Like I wanted to tell a story. Like I wanted it to be like us. You know what I'm saying? So we just been building that sound, man, and just, you know, just I started showing him just like flip record beats. Like he's like, bro, what? Like, you know, we gotta hop on this. And this is about the same time I got into the lab, you know, here, you know. I
Talk about that story. Break that down.
How I got into the lab? Yeah, so so how I got here was I went to a private producer event actually with my boy Savvy. And we were at this Cato on the Track event, basically real low key, 20 people. We were all showcasing our music and, you know, played our shit. It went smooth. And basically, you know, the owner, Mac D, we like tapped in with each other. And he was like, yeah, bro, I got a studio and everything. You know, stop by, you know, come check it out and stuff. And sure enough, I did. I'm like, yo, this shit's fire. Like, I had never seen that. You know, same thing. I'm like coming out of just like I'm at the house like all the time, like recording out of there, and I never experienced a studio. So I was like, bro, this is fire. Like, how do I start trying to work out of here? And he was like, you know, just come intern for me, you know, like work under me, come to my sessions, you know, help out, and just basically be like a fly on the wall and just learn, you know what I'm saying? Learning how to work with analog gear and, you know, just learn, basically. Just learn. I had just started school. I graduated from LA Film School, but during this time, I basically just was getting into my, you know, like at the beginning stages of the courses. So I was learning about analog gear and everything and like how it was aligning was crazy because it was during COVID that I had to go to I had to do it all online. So I was like, damn, I didn't get to experience that on campus LA, like hands-on work in a studio until I met the owner, you know, and I got in here and just, it was all aligning with school. Like, here's the analog gear, here's how you record. Like, I'm still practicing on my craft every day with beats. I'm like, yo, like, this is crazy. And, you know, eventually I learned and just started recording with JMAT. You know, he was like, here, you can start bringing in clients now, like run your own stuff. And the only artist I was working with at the time was JMAT. So man, we did our first song like that we kind of really did. It was called Marksman, which is like one of our best songs still. We did it all in here just from scratch. Like, I took a little, it wasn't even from a record, it was actually from like Splice or something, but it was like this like saxophone loop, and I just started adding on top of it like my own saxophones and all this other shit.
007, the master marksman. I made my way out the trouble. This hustle is getting realer. Been eating that on the double. Homie locked up in prison. Been pushing up, getting muscle. I see you. We trying to make sure you make it up out that tunnel. Chances to make shit happen. These packages getting smuggled anywhere you'd imagine. I toss it back in the duffel. And I'm blacking out on my issues to get it right with my critics. Cause triggers be getting pulled while babies getting delivered. I'm sipping something disgusting. Gon' probably ruin my liver. Don't matter, nobody cares when your pigment resemble niggas. And that Colorado cocaine, really right as a blizzard. Discovered I had some problems, but everybody's a sinner. Do this one for the felons, the ghettos, gangsterous killers. Run with a coalition, the wolves will turn you to dinner. And it's like that.
Man, once we knocked out our first song in here, it's been a wrap ever since, man. Like, just been creating crazy music and yeah, well, then that leads to my next favorite artist that I met was my boy Dante M.
Talk about it.
Yeah, like, so, you know, all through COVID, my boy JMAT and I are in here every day. Like, now that we know how to make a song, we're in here every day. Like, we're like, yo, like, we making classics, you know what I'm saying? We're about
stopping.
Bro, not stopping. Like, we know how to do this now. Like, we know what to do. Like, we're about to go stupid. So him and I were like, just in here, and oh no, it was actually me alone one night. I was here wrapping up a session, and then my boy Yeti He's another engineer here. He was passing through and was like, yo, what are you doing this Sunday? And I was like, shit, just chilling, whatever. And he was like, man, pull up to this session on Sunday. I had met this kid from North Carolina, and he's fire. Like, I just had a session with him last night. And I was like, ooh, all right, like, I'll slide through. And so this next Sunday, it was actually just me. I came through to the studio, and they were like, I met everybody. I met Dante and all the homies that I already knew that were in here. And they're like, what's up? You got some beats? And, I did. I'm always ready. So I played some beats and shit. Like the first one they were loving still, but like the second one I played, man, they were like, yo, like we're getting in, we need that right now. And I was like, oh, word, yeah, like here it is. And man, so that's that first encounter with Dante. And then I think he had one more session, and JMAT and I both came up, and we all met each other, like, again, and they met, and it was just crazy, bro. We dropped in our first record actually during one of our sessions. Yeti and all of them were having a session in the other studio, and he came in, and JMAT and I were working, and JMAT was like, yo, he came in, he was like, yo, my boy, like, hop on this, like, like, I'll leave it open for you. And because we liked what we heard, like, he was spazzing on just the tracks he was doing in here, and we're like, hell yeah, like, come, hop in. And bro, he spazzed on this track. It's called Ghetto Missions. Crazy, with JMAT, Dante, and our boy Dame. And it's just crazy, bro. That was just the start of it all. Like, just meeting Dante just here. That was like our first, like, really encounter. Just, it was so natural meeting. He laced up the first, that first beat that I gave him, and was like, yo, like, you need to come hop on some more shit after, like, he laced that song with JMAT. And yeah, bro, it's really, I just really been working with them two the most, because just that chemistry. Like, I do a lot of engineering here at the studio. That's like just a second passion, is like really being there for people and making their music sound the best that they can get, bringing their vision to life. And, but on the side, like, just with that personal, like, real life, like, speaking through how I can tell my story is with, like, JMAT and Dante for sure.
Dope, man. Really dope. Appreciate that breakdown.
Yeah.
Let's, before we get into Heaven Hills, the latest release with Dante M's, let's talk about 2022. All right. 5 albums released.
Yeah.
Right? 6 in 12 months if we count Heaven Hills, all right?
Bro,
so that's a good amount of work, man. Good Times 2. I think that's probably so that was released February 2022, and that's really where you came on my radar. Oh, Finesse, you have this track with him on there.
Shout out to Finesse, man. The OG
salute.
For sure, absolutely.
Salute. Talk about that track. Series B is also on that. We have a
shout out my boy
conversation
Series,
with Series B on the channel as well. Talk about putting Good Times 2 together. That's a dope vibe.
Man, I appreciate you. I don't know, man. All of last year there was no plan. Like, there was nothing I had mapped out. You know what I'm saying? The main thing, bro, is just being consistent and getting better. Like, I wasn't really worried. Like, I didn't, and I still don't to this day. It's like, we just been trying to make music for ourselves, like what we really enjoy. And, and just, with them writing the lyrics, they want to speak their truth and tell their story, you know what I'm saying? And there was really just no set, like, timeline for last year. Just really seriously about just working hard and just becoming better, and just getting more reps in. I wanted to just learn new techniques with my mixing and making beats. Like, how can I just not stay so how can I just be different? And I still keep my same sound, but there's still just always in each song, like, that I try to do, like, something new for that specific song. Like, every session I just like, like, let's try this, or just experiment. But and really just, man, just letting people know, man, we really are, like, we're out here working, basically. Like, like, we're not, we're here to just make good quality music. We're here to just show the people that we out here working, bro.
How much direction do you give artists when they come here? You said, you let them speak their truth, but, you just come in, you play some beats, you just let them rock. Is there any direction on the track? A lot of the titles seem to be just like a lyric that you'll pull or a little phrase or something like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So talk about that process a little bit. We're bringing in the different artists and building an album like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, man, the way we build is just really, I mean, I know people do it, but, like, there's not many people doing what, like, we do out here. Like, as far as our creative process, like, bro, I come in here, load up my laptop. I'm pre, like, record cut. Like, I'm prepared. Like, I'm here ready to show them what what I got for the day. You know what I'm saying? So I come in, I'm rolling through some samples, like, half the time, they fuck with them. So half the time it's like, yo, yeah, like that one, we go through our little, what we play, and we pick a sample, bro. Like, I literally make the beat right here with the drums, everything, like whatever I'm going to add, saxophones and everything. I bounce out the stems to Pro Tools. And my boys the whole time as I'm making the beat, they're writing. They're literally writing. I trust them. It's not even, I'm doing like my part, like they tell the story, man. Like, basically how I look at it is like my beat is the open book and they're writing in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this beat is like just how I'm telling the story setting wise, like where we at, like what's going on, like what's the mood. And then they're bouncing off of that, like, and sometimes like JMAT, and then they'll be like, if JMAT and Dante are in here together, like they're bouncing off of each other that way. They're like, yo, what are we going to do this about? How we about to, what's it about? Like, what are we going to do here? And they're going like maybe 4 bars at a time. Like, all right, here's what I'm going to say next. And, just trying to make it, and we're getting better at that. Like, I think when we first started off, it was just like, here's a fire beat. We're just about to fucking spit like whatever we want, whatever. Like, we're like, I'm gonna spit my hardest bars and do whatever, and then like you're gonna do your part next, like. But now it's like we built that chemistry together where it's like, yeah, they know I'm gonna come in here ready. I'm gonna make the beat. They're gonna write and bounce off of each other. Or if it's just me and JMAT, like he's same thing. I mean, it doesn't change. Like he just writes, the whole time and. I then bounce it into Pro Tools, and then he just starts recording, and I'm mixing as we go. We don't call it finished that day, but we're laying down ideas, sometimes 2 to 3, and in the short amount of time we're in here, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And yeah, bro, that's just how we work. That's all I did for Good Times too. Every project has just been anything recorded with them has just been like, all right, here's the beat. I just made it right now. You just made the lyrics right now. Like, it's all on spot. Like, it's not like we're spending, weeks on it or whatever. We're literally making our ideas fresh and, like, from start, So, it's cool.
And doing it and on to the next one. Right? You talk about staying busy, keep working, staying consistent.
Sharpening our tools, bro.
On to the next one, huh?
Yeah, literally. Like, working on our craft, you know what I'm saying? And that's... I think what I really like about just dropping, I've been getting better. Like, now it's all about being strategic with drops, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted people to I wanted them to hear my flaws in them first tapes. I want you to, I'm not trying to be perfect off rip or sound like, or be perfect. Like, I want you to see my progression. Like, that's what gets them to believe is like, this is what he first in Good Times 1, like the first thing we ever dropped, bro. That's a classic. Like we recorded a lot of that in here, so like even if it wasn't fully mixed how it should have, like we were getting good recordings. Like it sounded real clean still. Just going through the trial and error of like mixing with different techniques and stuff like that. And I just want it to be a life, like a lifeline. Like here's his first project. Like damn, like he's actually, he's getting better. Like. We're not trying to, be perfect, but we want you to just know, like, that's it. Like, we're working, we're staying consistent, and we're getting better.
The progression is real.
Yeah.
You can pay attention and enjoy it or not, all right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But you guys are going to pay attention because it's some dope shit.
Hey, absolutely.
That's all we bring you here on Conversations with TMac, all right? Let's talk about stages of life a little bit. That's been, like, in rotation the heaviest for me the past week in preparation for this. Really, I just love the way it starts off. I wish I could pull up the track list right here. But What's the first song?
Destin.
Destin.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was bumping that at work this morning. You saw that.
Yeah. Every day feeling like a special occasion. I love it, I feel amazing. Ain't no stressing, but lately we still blazing. Just keep waiting patiently, baby, we gon' make it. Yeah, we gon' make it. Yeah, we gon' make it. We gon' make it. Maybe it's make-believe to think that we could be famous. Maybe it's Maybelline to make up for the time we wasted. Maybe I'm chasing dreams no one could reach without a spaceship. Maybe they was right and my way of life's too dangerous. But what if it could lead to greatness? Let me paint this basically. Picture me inside a perfect picture with you. Like ice sits in a picture, how we rise and getting richer.
Really love all the tracks. JMAT kills
Spaz,
everyone
my
he's
boy.
on there. Man, I it's just good, positive, like sounding, upbeat stuff, most of it. And that's really what I enjoy the most and like to listen to the most. A lot of stuff today is dark. I definitely like the gritty.
Oh, I love grit. Yeah.
Right. We like everything, time and place, but when I'm driving, when I'm going to work, I want to be in a positive mindset. So I got to put on some good music, some positive music, you know? And your stuff definitely does that for me. And Stages of Life, like I said, the past week, that's been the one.
I appreciate you, bro. Nah, man, like, exactly. Like, that's the thing is, like, me personally, like, I don't live, like, a dark, gritty, like, I really enjoy music, you know what I'm saying? I'm not out here trying to be the tough guy. Like, I really just enjoy, like, making good, elegant style music. I really like it to be uplifting because that's just, you hear, like, my mood through the music, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's real uplifting. Like, that's why I try and be a role in everybody's, you know, the people around me, just being uplifting, giving that love and showing love, you know what I'm saying? Just having us be vulnerable on our music. Like, you know, we don't have to fake ourselves. Like, we, you know, like, this is us, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's just the important part is basically just, staying true to myself, and that's just, you know, making like uplifting music. And I think with this tape specifically, it was like a time after a dark tunnel, you know, like that's why I call it Stages of Life, because like, you know, you have these stages of life, and I felt like this was literally a new stage in life where like I was growing out of patterns, habits, and I still am. You know, if you know, care about yourself, you're gonna work on yourself daily and work on flaws. And you know, that's just been the most important part, is just trying to stay true and be positive, because that's just the time of where positivity, you know, was in my life. It still is. No, from there forward, you know, everything going forward has just been real positive. Like, it's almost like a change of mindset, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Really dope. Stages of Life. Check that out, people. So let's talk about Heaven Hills, man. The latest released about 2 weeks ago or so.
Yeah.
Less than a month.
Yeah, absolutely. February 5th.
February 5th. So that's Dante M's, fully produced by Jahndi.
Yeah, shout out my boy, man.
Great mixture of sounds and elements. You know, got some jazzy styles, funky styles. I'd say it's less soulful than some of your other projects. A little less heavy on the soul samples, but it doesn't mean the music doesn't have soul.
No, absolutely, yeah.
And a little bit abstract too. That Outside track,
yes,
a little bit outside, different bounce, different feel, right?
In case they forgot who I was, they follow and trace everything that I does. Ball so hard I could've played for the Hornets. Buzz City and you ain't got no buzz, I know that shit rough. Stayed down and got my business up, ain't no giving up. Put the blade to the white like a nip and tuck. I can fix you up, the Botox I got will leave you wrinkled up, bitch. I keep the iron with the starch, the barter on me if you parts. I keep a gallon in my reach, fake blood for a leech. They ain't needing off of me, run up some bucks for some peace, then relocate and count up at the beach. I ricochet every shot thrown at me. I seen it coming for a couple of weeks, my nigga.
Talk about working on this project. How did this come together? And one thing I just want to say before that, I was messaging with Dante M's, and a quote that I have here is, he said, "You're really the Phil Jackson of this shit, or this whole thing."
Hey, shout out my boy, man.
So talk about, we talked about releasing 5 albums last year. Are you working on music that batch of music is the album? Are you picking, all right, this one's for your album, this one's for my album? Talk about that process and, you know, getting to Heaven Hills.
Yeah, no, so absolutely. So with my boy Dante, like he had just dropped this tape called Every Day, and nothing of mine was on there. It was a fire tape. He wasn't on like them soul sample style beats, like, and until I heard this tape, and I was like, yo, like this shit's hard. Like now, you know, like we really got to make a tape together, and you know, that was really the start of it. We dropped Table for One first. You know, that was our first tape together. Super fire, a lot of bangers. That one's more soulful, like, and yeah, and from there, you know, we went on to No Vacation, which we dropped in the summer, and which led to Dear Summerfest. You know, we performed all of that there, did a big concert there, and it was cool. And but from that day, that's when we started Heaven Hills. So it was like August. No, not even. What was it? July. When was it, JMAT? July. Yeah, July last year, and you know that's when we started. We did Mint Tea the night we finished performing. You know, we did that, and I think 96 Impala, and bro, that was just the start of Heaven Hills. He took that picture, the album cover, in Manitou where we were performing. So like Dante took that picture, you know, of just, he was like, yeah, that should, you know, that's hard. And we didn't even have the name at that time, but we were making just, you know, we just been consistently in the studio. Every time he's out here, we come straight here. You know what I'm saying? Like we're whipping and getting to work. And yeah, just from that start of July last year, we just been building a bunch of songs. You know, we have Stages of Life, like you were saying, like picking and choosing songs. Like, all right, you're gonna get this one for you know, Heaven Hills. I'm gonna get this for Stages, and you know, just stuff like that. And just because we just make so many songs, like we didn't have to be in the lab to be making stuff. Like I was sending him beats out there, and he's just recording in his garage in North Carolina, sending me back the stems. But he knows how to record himself now really good, to where like it's gonna sound like, you know, I mixed it out. We did it in here, you know, for the most part. And half the Heaven Hills was recorded in his garage. You know, so we did like a couple of songs here and there, those first two songs, you know, and then just like we did like one or two right before the release, actually. You know, like we busted out two songs, like Mortal Love, I think. Like there's a couple of songs on there where we did like just the week before.
Like last minute.
Yeah, and just threw it on there. Like, because we were like, we want something fresh on there. Like, you know, we've been building since July. Like, listen, you know, you're here now. Like, we got to just throw on something fresh and brand new, like, idea. And, yeah, just throw on a couple extra songs.
You mentioned 9-6 Impala. I really like that. You know, just because it sounds dope, number one, the music. But also, you know, you hear in hip-hop music a lot is a 6'9" Impala.
Hey, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so
no.
he like, flipped that.
Yeah.
You know, people always talk about the candy pane on the 6'9", like
Oh, that's
whatever
what
it is, like
still
West
talk
Coast
about.
culture and stuff like that, right?
Exactly.
But he's got the 9-6 Impala.
Absolutely, yeah. No, so man, Dante say he trying to be an old school collector. You know, we both, you know, everybody trying to be, and it's yeah, super funny because I just don't know how he started off with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how he got inspired by to just start off like that, but nah, it's fire. Like, he definitely want to be an old school collector though. He even said it on the tape, future old school collector. You know.
96 Impala with the black stripes. My dog made bank out the glass from selling crack pipes. Yeah, packs on packs, really about that life. He told us move the tree, cause these fiends cannot act right. So we proceed to move with caution. All white like the mountain, the caucus and hidden compartments, hidden apartments. We flip couches in the houses. Trap life, every move as silent as mouses, I swear.
Move out the way for you get packed out. Plug in, big homie got the pack out. Mickey D's, no fries, Big Macs out. Lonely boys, late night on the cash route. Speeding, moving angel in a fucking demon. Brother, why you salty for no reason? Gon' get that bag every season, every season.
All black black Grand National to fit hella casual on this cash run. Catch me with the baddest ones. Catch me with a chip on my shoulder the size of Babylon. Can't let them folks in your business cause they'll get their tattle on. Snakes rattle and leave a trace of travel. So when I catch them, I'ma smoke them. That's when this plot unravels. Big stepper, I leave my footprints in gravel and cement too. My partner say I make them songs that hustlers can repent to.
Yeah, he really gives you an insight into, like, you know, it's dense music.
Yeah.
It's not something you listen to once and like you know what he said. Like there's a whole lot going on throughout the album. I really like the length of it too. I used to be like, oh, albums, you know, I had this preconceived notion that albums were like an hour. It was like a certain length, certain amount of songs, and once I started getting into the underground, projects were a lot shorter. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, even like, you know, this few like 3-song EPs, stuff like that. So I was a little bit like, all right, I don't know if I like it. It's different, but I've really come to like the half-hour project.
Yeah, it's like a, you know, like, because I'm a fan of the same thing. Like I like to hear like 4 or 5 minute songs. I mean, if it's really good, Kendrick does it. Like that's the reason why I really enjoy his music. He can make a 7-8 minute song, and it's just like, but it's not this. You're not on this loop. You are like going through like fucking like just different dimensions. Like or literally a train, and you know we're getting and that's just. You know, we're not even there yet. You know what I'm saying? Like we're still trying to now just get really conceptual, make it be like literally a movie. Like we look at our music as cinematic. Like we're, you know, the storytelling, the, you know, the beat, you know, like how we're doing the beats and shit. It's just real, like we try and do it like real classy, elegant, like more upscale. Like we're on some like grown man shit. Like we're not, you know, we're trying to handle business and you know, we're drinking champagne and stuff. Like it's our champagne music, you know what I'm saying? Like just stuff like that, and just it's almost manifesting too, you know what I'm saying? Like we're like this is the men we're trying to become. Like we're trying to be businessmen, like make it through music, you know, stuff like that. Like here's our story right now. You know, we got more to tell, but we're just trying to figure out how to tell it so we can, you know, be on that level of like Kendrick and stuff. And, you know, and I believe in them heavily, like just their pen game, you know, they get better every day. They used to be surprising me. Like as I'm making the beats, I'm like, bro, what you just said? Like you just made the beat sound way harder.
Everybody's progressing.
Yeah. And it goes with the chemistry, man. Like we just have a good chemistry. We've done this. I mean, especially JMAT and I, we've done this for the last 3 years consistently. Like, in here, like whipping songs, like we don't even know just what we just be making stuff, you know what I'm saying? And and it's just crazy. It's beautiful.
That's dope, man. Really, that was a little dope, like, you know, little introduction to Heaven Hills if you guys haven't heard it, but definitely go listen to that after this conversation. Like I said, it's dense. There's storytelling, talks about, you know, some struggle, love, God. A lot of these seem to be like common themes throughout most of your projects. You know what I mean, with the artists.
Yeah, man. It's just like for us, it's just like about getting closer to the source, like getting at a higher, better conscious. Like we're becoming wiser. Like, you know, we're just trying to elevate ourselves, and you know, with them, like I mean, everybody just tells their story, like how, you know, our stories are all different. So like, they're, you know, as an artist, you're gonna tell your struggles, and I mean, you know, that's what I appreciate about them the most is like I want to just hear like something, you know, that happened, you know, personal. I want to hear like you just talk about some shit, you know, that it's just somebody might relate to, you know what I'm saying? Like nowadays music, when it's all dark, like not everybody's out here, you know, like killing and murdering, or like out here, you know, buying jewelry daily, like, and stuff. So like not a lot of people can relate, but they can look up, you know, I guess look up to it. But, you know, we want to just make that music where it touches like everybody, you know. And that's one thing like Dante did with Heaven Hills is I think everybody can relate through certain songs, you know what I'm saying, with the love and, you know, how he, you know, what do you say in Erasmo, like he was sweeping carpets, they didn't have the vacuum, like.
Yo, that's how the song starts off. That's like the part of the first 4 bars.
Yeah,
like that's like, wow.
You get in the setting almost.
He
puts you in the setting, like
Absolutely.
you're like, damn, like it brings you right into dang, like he's you picture him sweeping the carpet, and it's like, you know, his pops and moms are working a double, you know, like he's just trying to clean the house and shit like that. And you know, I don't even know, like, what's cool. That's why I enjoy it the most, is because every time he spits these bars, like, I'm now I'm hearing a part of his story too.
Learning more
like,
about him.
Yeah, because I just met him. You know, we met him 3 years ago, or 2 years ago now. And, you know, it's just, yeah, like, that's what makes it more interesting is, yeah, you're now learning a part of your homie more through the music, and you want him to tell his story. And that's just like what my job is, you know, especially then, you know, I make the beats, I make the setting, but now I have to go in here and make it sound good and like just make sure it's being told exactly how it should, you know, type stuff.
Mm-hmm. Really dope, really dope. Before we continue on, anything else you want to say about Heaven Hills?
Man, hey, make sure y'all check that out. Outside video coming soon.
Outside with it.
Yeah, outside with
Okay.
it, for real. Yeah, that's just about to drop. And yeah, we just really appreciate everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have, you know, we're still on that growing. Like, this is like actually the first project that's doing numbers out of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not pushing like 50, 60K every drop. Like, but we're on that path. Like, just being consistent and people hearing like, dang, like Heaven Hills sounds crazy. Like, that sounds legit. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, just appreciate everybody so far, and just keep streaming it. You know, just showing love, show people, give it a chance, at least. You know what I'm saying, and then go from there.
Can you see like where in the world or the country people are listening the most? I would assume probably Colorado and North Carolina, where he's from, has a good amount of listeners. But are you able to see if there's any other like pockets that are really like tapped into what you guys are doing?
So I don't be like hella tapped in that much to the app, you know, because I celebrate the day of the drop, and then I'm back in here. Like, you know, I was out there for when he performed in Charlotte.
Oh yes, let's talk about it. The live like performance of the album.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, so basically, you know, his birthday was the 5th, the day we dropped the album. And you know, there was a whole build up to it. They threw, you know, they're promoting a whole event that he was gonna headlining his first concert. You know, little you know, event. And you know, it was big. He started, you know, promoting it. He had all his homies involved, like in Charlotte, with different, you know, clothing brands and promoted. You know, just everybody was involved in the community out there. And so I chose to, you know, fly out there for it because it was just, you know, important to me too. So, you know, show the homie love. You know, a lot of people out there know me that I don't know. So it was just really cool. So I flew out there, got to experience, he had a live band. I want to say, Guardian of the Groove. Yeah, shout out to them, Guardian of the Groove. They're a band out there in Charlotte. They did all of our music live. Just improvise, not improvise, but they practiced. And it was cool. Like the night before, I was able to, you know, go over there with the band and just, you know, kind of see it just see ideas and just shit, you know, to make it go dope. And I think it was just really cool. And the show was fire. My boy Dante Spaz, like, he had sold it out. A lot of people there.
Had a fly suit on.
Fly suit. Oh yeah, he was going crazy for sure. And now it was just really dope. You know, a lot of love out there. The city, you know, was really showing him love. I flew out there, came right back, got right to the studio same day. Like, flew into the Springs, got home, grabbed all my computer stuff, and came right to the studio just to start. I started with JMAT, my boy Savvy, and my boy Barris. I was just right to the studio, just already back to work. You know, it's nice. Like, I just want people to hear, you know, just hear the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, we make so much. I apologize. You're good. We make so much that, like, we just want the world to hear, you know what I'm saying?
So expect a lot more music 2023, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're dropping heavy this year, like visuals and everything. Like, you're going to see us more, for sure.
Awesome. Be on the lookout, everybody. So this is a pretty open-ended question, but what do you love about Colorado?
Well, obviously the people I met some great people here. It's got its own, like, it's got its own vibe, especially now. A lot of people, unless I was just, growing up not really paying attention, but I think the music scene more now is just like what's making it a little more cool. Like we're not really big in other states, but like it's kind of like just a fun like thing to come up as, what I'm saying. I think that's different. We're growing, and I think that's what's cool. Is we're not a major city, so you can make noise here and just build the town you're from, what I'm saying, and just make your own sound. I think that's the most important thing to me.
What are some of your favorite places in Colorado to get away? I'm sure you always creating. When you go to like some hot springs or something, I'm sure you'll bring the laptop. You'll be up at night doing whatever. What are some of your places that maybe you'd recommend for me to go check out around Colorado?
So I would recommend Breckenridge if you haven't been already.
Okay, no.
Yeah, you got to go to Breckenridge. They got great food. If you like to snowboard or ski. Just go do that. You got to go down to Fountain, Colorado. Go down to the F. It's definitely its own. It's definitely its own entity, but it's really cool down there. Garden of the Gods. You know what I'm saying? I think you've been.
I've been there,
but for the people, who don't know, Garden of the Gods. But I've been to Telluride, Colorado. You should go there. It's like depending on where you're, where you stay. Like for me, it was 5 hours. But
it's deep. The guy who owns the pizzeria that I work at, Blue Pan Pizza, he has a pizzeria in Telluride also.
Oh, really?
So I looked it up. I'm like, oh damn, that's far.
Bro, it's hella far. It's like almost out of state.
But nice down there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of dope like little mountain towns. It's cool to like drive through and just check stuff out. Colorado's a big state. There's a whole lot to see and a whole lot to do. So it's cool to get out here and start experiencing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's crazy because there's so many places in Colorado to literally go. Like I haven't even been to Aspen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I recommend that to myself. You know what I'm saying? I haven't even been there, but definitely anywhere in the mountains, bro. Like I don't bring my laptop.
Oh, okay.
I really like those escape moments, man. Like I try not, you go into overdrive all the time when you're a creative, so you just try and get better. You're trying to do all this stuff, but you got to start with yourself, as a person, and then like make sure you're good before anything else, because you're not going to get that same good you're not going to feel as in tune with your
full relaxation, get in tune like you want to, right?
Exactly. And, it starts there. And, just it's nice to escape, you know what I'm saying? Like, not do music. So you got to go and just enjoy just what, like Colorado has to offer. Like, when I went out to, Charlotte, we worked one night, on some music. But, like, it was just about enjoying the moment. I'm in a different place. I never been. Like, I'm here to just enjoy life and just everything.
Dope, man. I like that. It's a good tip, and I'm gonna have to remember that myself. Like,
hey,
you don't got to do the work, all the time.
Man. You gotta make sure you're good, and it's about you first. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Dope. So we talked about a few of the artists that you work with. The artist that I connected with since I've been out here is Rose.
Hey, yeah.
Man, the last two singles he dropped, both produced by you.
Hey, shout out my boy Rose, man. Yeah, he's actually another artist I ran into in here. But later on, he works with my boy P White. Shout out my boy P White. He's an engineer here at the Lab Studios. They crossing sessions. P White had mentioned Rose. He was like, hey, like, because we all play our beats and stuff as engineers, and basically he was just like, yeah, like I hear this dude that I feel like would be fire on your beats. Like he's be in here doing that, and I'm like, hey, all right, like let me know. And sure enough, I think Rose followed me, or we tapped in, and I sent him some beats, man, and he's just been spazzing, picking and choosing, and just spazzing. And I've had a couple of run-ins where in here, just where he'd be recording and just, it's all nothing but love, and he showed lots of love. Shout out to him. He shouted me out on your on his episode, and yeah, man, shout out to my boy. He's doing a lot of big things in Denver. I think, I still got to go to a freaking show, man. Shout out to my boy. I'm going to go to a show, brother. I'm going to go to a show. I be trapped in the studio, you know that. So, shout out my boy, man. He's dope, for real.
Knife in my back and I'm walking with it.
Yeah. No, this last one, what is it?
That one was walking with it, but also just released Tell Him That.
He said, so like one day, I think I was working and he sent me this old Michael Jordan newspaper, and he like got the inspiration from it, like I'm back, like, and it was just fire. I was like, boy, you gotta drop. Yeah, I was like, that's a dope cover art too. So yeah, he's badass.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to more work. Hopefully an album between you two. I really like how you do, the full producer projects. Those are some of my favorites that I definitely go back to. And you and Rose, man, we're looking forward to something like that.
Hey, absolutely, yeah. He knows I'm gonna send him some beats. So.
Let's go. Get some TMac exclusives for that one. Let's talk a little bit more about Colorado, man. A big part of conversations with TMac is music. Another big part is food.
Hey.
Right? So I always got to ask people favorite food spots. Let's get some spots while you're working, while you're here in Denver, and also in the Springs.
Okay. Yeah. So, like when I'm working, boy, my homies know I be getting that Dave's hot chicken, boy.
Ooh,
every time, bro.
fire.
I'm so bad. I get the freaking the sandwich slider combo, bro. They know, like, when I'm like, hey, hold on, I gotta go get my food.
You know what time it is.
They know I'm walking back in with the Dave's hot chicken. But yeah, that's really, I'm so bad. It's either that or if we all just throwing on pizza, you know what I'm saying? Just some regular Domino's, you know what I'm saying? We be finessing them sometimes, getting the double pizza. No, because they be messing up, man. So I had to get them with the double.
That's why you guys got to order from Blue Pan Pizza.
Shout out to Blue Pan.
Right?
Hey, I have not even been there yet, but I want to come there.
We're going to hook you up too. We'll meet up. We'll go to the food truck. When you need to step out for a minute, we'll go meet up at the food truck and get some good food.
Word. Yeah, I need it, brother, for sure.
Hell yeah, man. But yeah, we definitely love to give you some good food and fuel you, to create some great art.
Hey, absolutely. Yeah. And from the Springs, though, man, so yeah, my favorite Mexican spot, the Fiesta Jalisco. Okay. You gotta go there. It's a cool Mexican spot. I know you say you've been eating a lot of Mexican.
A lot since I've been out here.
Yeah. If you come down to the Springs again, just come to Fiesta Jalisco. I'll meet up with you, my boy.
Hell yeah. We'll definitely do that.
And juicy seafood, man, down there.
So one thing I do want to mention that I seen you talk about on your social media is sort of Colorado media outlets. There's a lot of dope artists out here. There's a lot happening, but it's not till I got out here that I really was exposed to it. I never heard of really Colorado artists before Finesse, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then, through him, I'm finding all the path and, his crew, now to you and your crew. So there's a lot of dope people doing really dope stuff. Why do you think nobody's really been able to break through? I'm not really sure if that's the question, but how do you think Colorado media outlets are covering the scene, and what do you think could be different about it?
I just think that people can't be biased. And if you're gonna be like an outlet for the state, like you just gotta, really be the like a journalist. Like you can't be biased. So like, you gotta be exploring. If you're really like the outlet, like you gotta be exploring like what's around here, like what's really around here. And not also waste your time either. Like not go through every artist. You know what I'm saying?
It's a whole lot, right?
Right, but definitely like. You just gotta, if you're really in the scene, like, you go to showcases, like you said, like, you're gonna know, like, oh, okay, like, you're gonna know who's kind of, like, popping or I guess making noise or kind of dope and...
Who's doing what, really?
Right, exactly. Oh, and then, so that's really it, is, like, you gotta just explore. If you're gonna be a journalist about the music and be an outlet, like, just explore everybody, because, like, I think one thing about Colorado is they just do Denver, you know what I'm saying? That's our big major city, so, of course you're gonna do Denver, you know what I'm saying, because it's big, so you're gonna go through a lot of artists just up here, but you got to be stretching the whole state. It's big, but man, you gotta hit like the other ones, like the Colorado Springs, Fountain, Pueblo. Like you gotta just be everywhere. And if you do see them on social media, because that's where it's all really happening. Like you don't have to travel, but like you gotta be a journalist for the whole state and not be promoting everybody else, even from out of state. You know what I'm saying? Like all these dudes from just other states. You know what I'm saying? Just make it, just help your artists out here, basically.
Yeah, Colorado feels like it's on the point where it's about to break. Maybe that's just me being out here, being more exposed to it. But I mean, every place is around the nation sort of got their shine for a little bit, or is getting their shine. Colorado's never really had that moment yet.
Yeah.
Right? We have West Coast, East, South. The mixing of everything, but Colorado never really had that moment yet. So I feel like, there's a little cliche to say, but sort of like a renaissance happening here.
No, absolutely. I mean, just because, I'm an engineer here in Denver, so
You're seeing a lot
I'm
of
seeing
the people that are coming through.
Both worlds. I live in the Springs, work up in Denver. So, like, I know I'm now stretched myself from a little, like, almost a whole state. Colorado Springs to Denver is the most kind of craziest part, and just being able to see, just everything. And, it's just different, I can just get... It's just different because everybody, you can see what patterns are being made, and just they're like everybody kind of copying each other, and that's why it's kind of like you gotta stretch, you gotta find more. Like there's more out there, and you just gotta. If you're an outlet, you just gotta explore, really.
Yeah, get out there, get to exploring, search the hashtags. There's ways to find people,
Facts.
You don't just have to listen to the latest fucking Drake or big artist that's out there. Find somebody new.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new people doing fresh stuff. So that's what I recommend people do. Stay tapped into TMac, stay tapped into Jahndi,
yes, sir.
and you'll find that stuff.
Absolutely, for sure.
Let's talk about 2023 a little bit. What's to come? What we can expect? I know you said 2022. You don't plan out too much stuff, but maybe you did mention you want to be a little bit more strategic with releases. So, any insight you could give us on the timeline or outlook for 2023?
So man, just being real strategic. Just making everything more movie-like. You know what I'm saying? Making it like if it's just a single, making it like packaged like a movie. Like really taking each song like to the highest it can go, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I just showed y'all how much I could do in a year. That was kind of just like for myself, really. Like how many songs can I do in a year? And that was just for myself. Like I had produced other tracks for other people like throughout the year. That was just for like just under my like little catalog, you know what I'm saying? So like I was just creating more than what I dropped, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, like we need to just flood, you know what I'm saying? Like give people music, because that's what people love. Like just a short span, they like, I need another one. Like I just need more, like just stuff like that. So just trying to stay consistent. And but for 2023, just be real strategic. And hopefully I will get JMAT's album this year. Well, it's up to the Lonely Boy if we get that or not, and just win. JMAT and Dante, we're gonna drop an album together, a little tape. That's about to be super fire, and I'm gonna eventually just drop another one this year too. Like I don't know what I'm gonna call it. Dante wants it to be called Good Times 3, and it'd be done. Just for like good times.
Trilogy.
The little trilogy, because like my inspirations, man, are like The Godfather, like like Goodfellas, stuff like that. And, Godfather got the trilogy, man. Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just stuff
Connection.
Like, just on that mafia, family, respect, and love. Like, this is the family I rock with. Like, we're saying like real tight and close. You know what I'm saying? Not letting the outside distract, and living that like just that mob style lifestyle. Like, where we're not here to really necessarily, be crazy or anything, but just trying to be real close and protected amongst ourselves, So yeah, and it goes in our music too. That's just how we do it, you know. That's what it's all about, just making that classy, real mafia style music. And just when you're sitting at like that, you know, under the red lights, all tucked up, you know, like just really chilling jazz style sounds, like saxophones and like
something good burning.
Got the big backwoods that look like cigars.
Come on.
Yeah, got the big backies that, you know, look like they're cigars, and just, yeah, man, just chilling, creating, you know what I'm saying? Just enjoying life and trying to become better and getting wiser, you know what I'm saying? And that's it, just growing. So.
Dope, man. 2023, we're looking forward to it. And I think that about wraps it up, man.
Yes, sir.
One more thing, though. There's this one track that you produced for, I'm going to try to say the name right, Angelicia?
Oh, hey, Loca?
Yeah, Loca.
Hey, bro, you heard that?
Bro, that is so West Coast.
Bro.
That is crazy. I love that joint.
Yeah, they call me Loca cause I tend to get a little crazy. Got a roll that blunt up, man, let me smoke that haze. The only thing that calms me down, turning frowns upside down, and helps me point out the motherfucking clown, cause I can spot shine from a mile away. Smell the stench of a snake, where's that Febreze spray? Cause I'm always coming from the bottom to the top. Stay rockin' with me, you know my loyalty never stops. Stay fresh with it, with my creased up tee. Got my baggy jeans on, and fuck them skinny jeans. You know I stay shining, was never like a rock. I'm solid like a diamond on my way to the top.
So man, I didn't even say like just really all my inspirations, just like the Zapp and Rogers, like that's, you know, my dad and mom, they were really just listening to that, you know, like West Coast shit. Like, I mean, everything. When we got to Germany, like I said, melting pot, everybody listening to a bunch of you know, we had big old barbecues, just the whole community, you know, just going crazy. Like, it's just different in that military lifestyle. Yeah, just with that song specifically, like, I heard her, you know, I saw her on the gram and was like, yo, like, I can make something fire, you know, like, with your voice, pretty much, you know. I hear it as like an instrument, and I'm like, I'm gonna send you some beats. And you know, that it was like different layers, like synth, you know, bass, just everything was like layered. And then what I did was do like Zapp and Rogers style drums, like, you know, you know, just that West Coast, like, old school, and you can hear it, like, it sounds just like Zapp and Rogers style drums. And man, that track's hard. Like,
did you play everything on there?
No, not everything, but I did add like I want to say like some key, like just like,
because the bass when I first heard the bass, it just reminded me of like Dre Day, like just that funky West Coast. But Zapp and Rogers, that's where like really the inspiration comes from. Yeah,
no, that was like a separate cut. Like, I'm telling you, they were all separate, but that, like, I'd have to look at the file, but it was like its own. But no, I didn't play that synth bass. Okay. But it is cut in, and then I had to basically put it on the same key as just what the song's gonna be on.
Yeah.
And just, man, it went wild, and, you know, just pitching down and slowing it, and yeah, it's crazy.
Funky.
I like, it's different, and I could be diverse. That's one thing, you know. That's why with Heaven Hills, like, we wanted to show that diversity. You know, like, it wasn't just our natural, like, soulful shit. Like I wanted a hype song on there, like, you know, different, like, not stay so stagnant and challenge ourselves. And I know he said, like, it challenged him on the pen wise, you know, just because, you know, we didn't even, you know, and it's cool because it lets people know, like, on outside, like, those drums, you know, it's like them, like, boom, like trap, you know, like style, like drums, and just different, just showing the diversity of what we could do. So
stay on the lookout. More diversity, more music, more art coming in 2023.
Absolutely.
Jahndi, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Hey, shout out my boy TMac, man. Hey, just want to appreciate him for showing love, giving us the platform. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You know, you're gonna be in the big stages too, man. I think your podcast and interviews will go far. You know what I'm saying? So just keep doing what you're doing. Much love. And, you know, we're tapped in, my boy.
I appreciate that, bro.
Much love, brother.
Hey, stood on the closest hill to heaven just to feel y'all presence. I'm trying to learn just how to live this life without regretting. Guide me on this path, my instincts is quite impressive. Do the work off on my flex and hard to keep up. I put that on my adolescence, that nigga knew he'd be up. And that green Yoda poster with Devin, how you knew he read up. We had them grounds for the